Let's start with a common misconception about AI. AI is a single, enormous model. One giant digital brain trained on all the world's data, capable of tackling anything that you throw at it. You prompt it, it responds magic. But in reality, the most effective AI systems in the world today don't work like that, especially not in fields like law, healthcare, finance, and insurance, where accuracy, accountability, and trust aren't optional. The best systems aren't built on one massive model. They're orchestrated pipelines, systems that combine smaller, specialized models, retrieval systems, verification loops, and workflow logic, all working together in the background. And once you start looking at this pattern, you see it everywhere. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why the just use one big model approach breaks down. First, reliability. In regulated domains like law or medicine, it's not enough to sound plausible. Answers have to be tight, verifiably grounded in trusted sources. Inventing a citation out of thin air has no place in a court submission or any given opinions and advice. Second, costs and latency. Running a trillion parameter model every time someone wants to extract a clause or classify a document is painfully inefficient. It's like using a nuclear reactor to toast a slice of bread. And third, trust. Users need to know where the answer came from. They need citations, audit trails, and the ability to trace a conclusion back to its source, and then check it. This is why the best AI systems today look more like nervous systems than brains. Multiple components, each with a role coordinated in real time to get high-stake tasks done. So what does this look like in practice? A user asks a question. The system just doesn't throw at it one giant model. It breaks it down into a series of steps. Use a question, route to the right subsystem, extract key facts, retrieve relevant documents, draft a response, verify it, check it against authoritative sources, and format into your output. It's a multi-model pipeline, not a chatbot, and it works better, especially in high-stakes workflows, for three key reasons. Many enterprise tasks are narrow: extract a date, classify a clause, compare two terms using a massive general model that is expensive and inconsistent. Instead, smaller, specialized models fine-tune to narrow tasks, handle them faster and more accurately, and a routing layer decides when to escalate to a larger model if needed. One-shot answers are fragile. In domains like law or medicine, that fragility is unacceptable. So high reliability systems use multi-pass processing. So then we draft, critique, verify, finalize. Each pass adds structure, catches error, and enforces standards. One major technique here is retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. RAG works by fetching the relevant documents at the inference time, then injecting them into the model's context to generate an answer. It's a smart way to ground outputs in real data, especially in enterprise settings. But basic RAG isn't enough. To be production grade, retrieval has to be coordinated with reasoning, tool use, and verification. Otherwise, you risk hallucinations or subtle misquotes. The best systems enforce strict links between sources and outputs. Let's see how this is happening along with real-world examples. In the legal sector, we have Harvey AI. Harvey is one of the clearest examples of orchestration in the wild. It's a legal assistant designed for real legal professionals. Harvey partnered with OpenAI to build custom legal models trained on case law and statutes. It integrates with LexisNexis to ground outputs in authoritative legal sources, and it lets firms build workflow builders, repeatable, multi-step legal processes powered by AI. They even frame Harvey as an AI co-worker capable of reasoning, using tools, and executing structured workflows. In finance, AlphaSense is doing something similar. It combines structured financial data with unstructured analyst reports and filings, using specialized models to extract insights and generate outputs that analysts actually trust. Tools like Deep Research and Slide Agent orchestrate multi-component pipelines that mimic how human analysts do deep dives. Orchestrated AI is also being used in healthcare imaging. Butterfly AI tools sit on top of handheld ultrasound devices. It scores image quality, checks for diagnostic patterns, integrates medical records, and provides real-time guidance to clinicians. Each task is handled by a specialist model or agent, all orchestrated through a Compass AI, their enterprise layer. It's end-to-end orchestration with a human in the loop, exactly what high-stake workflows demand. And of course, in the data-heavy space of insurance, we see it playing out too. In insurance, UnderwriteMe is building a modular AI tool for extracting and analyzing medical and policy data, detecting fraud, and automating post-issue audits. These are not handled by one AI. They are discrete, auditable components like classifiers, risk scorers, logic engines, all stitched together into a decision-making system. There's one more critical ingredient to all of this: vision language models, or VLMs. Because real-world documents, especially in law, healthcare, and insurance, aren't just text. They're PDFs, scans, tables, images, signatures. If your system can't see, it can't interpret those documents accurately. That's why specialized VLMs are now handling layout extraction, clause identification, and visual parsing in ways large language models alone can't. In production, you'll often see this stack. VLM extracts the structure, LLM reasons and drafts, the verifier checks citations. It looks like one assistant, but behind the scenes it's actually 3 to 8 coordinated subsystems working together. By the way, if any of this is useful, give it a like. And if you want to be part of a growing group figuring this AI stuff out together, hit subscribe and we'll keep coming out with more great content. Here's what's already working in orchestrated AI. Routing tasks to the right models, using small models for cheap, fast extraction, grounding answers with citations, multi-pass workflows for legal grade trust, vision and language integration for documents. But it's not all solved. Citation honesty is still tricky. Long, messy documents remain hard to pass. Agents making decisions still need safeguards, and evaluation, especially for correctness, is still evolving. Even the best systems need guardrails and human oversight. They're still miles ahead of one-shot chatbots. So here's the headline: the future of AI isn't one giant model, it's in orchestrated systems. That is, systems with a router to decide what the task is, a retriever to pull in the right data, a set of specialist models, a supervisor orchestrator that handles reasoning, tool use, and workflow enforcement. This is the architecture behind today's most trusted AI platforms. Harvey AI is a great example. And if you're building or buying domain-specific AI, this is what you should be looking for. Let me know in the comments what systems you're seeing or what you're building. See you next time.